Welcome back, YouTube. PPS here, YouTube Play of the Day. 2 spots for today. Gonna roll with 2 today. I know I said I wouldn't have as many. Probably only have 1 or 2 tomorrow. But it's a smaller slate, and I know you guys will be looking for plays because, honestly, a lot of people take these types of days off. We don't do that. We don't take those days off. We're here. We're ready to go, and we're ready to make you guys some money today. As always, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Coming off of brutal L here. We had Wood Richardson under 4.5 strikeouts. Astros team total. Wood Richardson got hit around. Didn't give up any runs, but got no strikeouts. Couldn't get anything going against the Nationals. And then obviously the Astros scored 1 run against Tyler Anderson. He shoved on him. At home against the lefty, was very surprised to see the Astros struggle 3 and then a couple guys into 4 times through the lineup. So Astros still a team I want to back. They still had a 7-3 homestand, so it's not like they played bad. They made me a lot of money over that homestand, but would have really liked that one because I wasn't really asking too much, right? I got let down a lot yesterday by Houston and the Dodgers. They both let me down pretty big. Felt great about the spots with both of them, and that's how it rolls sometimes. So it moves us down 25 and 19, 4.72 units. And we are back today to get after it. So if you guys could, like I said, hit that like button. We'll be pulling on my screen right now. Both plays will be right here. I have minus 111 on Clevenger Gausman, which I'll show you in a second. And I'm also going to be on Luis Castillo under 5.5 hits. I'll be rolling with those two. Castillo, we can start out with. Castillo is facing the Yankees today, under 5.5 hits, allowed minus 130. I like Castillo today, and one of the reasons also is just because he is willing to walk guys when he gets further down in the lineup, right? On the road so far this year, he's been pretty good, actually. ERA is great, 3.1 FIP. Ks are not there all the way, which is why I didn't bet the Ks today. But he's still been an elite pitcher, right? He's still been an elite pitcher. What I liked here in this month, March and April, he did get hit around a little bit more. But May, he's been a lot better, limiting hard contact. And like I said, he has been walking a few more guys so far this month. And this is a lineup that you probably don't mind walking some of these guys, right? Soto, Judge. Probably don't mind if you get to a three ball count, especially when they're hitting like this. Soto 2 bombs yesterday. Judge hit 1 yesterday. Outside of those two, I'm not really worried about too many guys in this lineup, right? I mean, last couple outings, we've seen Luis lock in, right? 6 innings, Baltimore, 6 innings, Oakland, 6 2/3 versus Minnesota, 7 against Atlanta, 6 against Texas, 7 against Colorado in Colorado. He only went over that number 1 time, and that was against Oakland, who just babbitt the dude to death, right? Not really any issues, just gave up 2 bombs and then a lot of soft contact that ended up being hits. But then you look at his matchup in Baltimore against Baltimore, only 4 hits. Minnesota at Minnesota, 2 hits. He's been very good on the road, and I know this is a scary spot to pitch in, right, against the Yankees in Yankee Stadium, but I think the elite ground ball rate will be helpful here. Also, you're going to see walks, right, and that's what I like with these Yankees guys. I take a lot of guys with walks against them. Soto has 5 walks in 13 total plate appearances, 8 at-bats, 5 walks, right? Rizzo, 4 walks. Judge, 3 walks through 9 total plate appearances. So that's what I'm saying. There's a lot of issues there, and that also helps us out because that's going to push up his pitch count. I think he's going to do very well today. I do think Castillo's going to lock in. Even Bryce Miller yesterday. Bryce Miller gave up some runs, but it was all bombs, right? It was all bombs. And I think that Castillo's got the stuff today to get it going for us. So sign me up for Luis Castillo. Like I said, hitting 5 of 6. Stuff is getting significantly better. Dude, he's not even getting hit hard either. It's like I know in his career he's only a 37% hard hit rate against, but with how bad the season started for him, to only be at a 40%, have an expected ERA at 3.2, very impressive from Luis Castillo, one of my boys. Play number 2. I'm going to go to Mike Clevenger, 4 hits allowed plus Gausman 5 strikeouts. This is going to be minus 111 over on DraftKings combo. First, let's start with Clevenger. Again, I talked about walks with Castillo. Clevenger will walk guys, but at home this year, he's actually been pretty good at limiting the walks, right? He didn't walk a guy in his one start at home this year. I think you're going to see this this Baltimore team go for it against him, right? Clevenger allowing a 364 batting average to righties so far this year, 259 to lefties. You're going to see a lot of lefties in this lineup, but also right now they only have a 273 batting average on balls in play. Which I expect to go up. He has a 5.05 xFIP against lefties, which obviously is not very good. But also, like I said, 273 BABIP against lefties and a 467 against righties. So I expect the lefties to go up. Righties maybe trickle down a little bit there. But one thing I do like is against lefties, he only has a 3% walk rate so far this year. I think that's important because against righties, you're seeing an 18% walk rate so far. So with the amount of lefties here, we should be seeing probably 7. So we should get that opportunity to not get walks and be able to have Clevenger get that ball close to us and let us get some hits. Then going over to Kevin Gausman, finally starting to pick it up a little bit, right? Velo's starting to pick up. I know he hasn't been, or everybody wants to say he hasn't been himself, right? He hasn't been that locked-in version of Kevin Gausman that we've seen over his career, but obviously, great matchup. Detroit, I talked about, strikes out a lot against right-handed pitching, 27%, at least going into yesterday. 6 Ks against Tampa, 6 against Minnesota, 8 against a tough Washington squad, 5 against the Dodgers. So I'm really liking Gausman today. Against righties is usually where I like to see the more strikeouts against righties here, because against lefties, that splitter is going to wipe out anybody, right? That splitter is just absolutely wipe out. So far this year against right-handed bats, he's mowing them down so far this year. Looking at those numbers, 27% K rate against righties. Should see Torkelson, should see Baez, should see a right-handed hitting catcher. I know they switched those off there, but the batting average on balls in play at 348 against righties, 393 against lefties. There's no way that continues. I'm expecting probably 4 lefties, 5 lefties in this lineup, where obviously he has a lower strikeout rate, but Gausman's going to go pitch deep in this game. The dude has been very, very good, and obviously Detroit is a pretty nice park out there in Comerica for pitching. So sign me up. I really like Kevin Gausman today, minus 111 with Clevenger. 4 hits allowed, and then I'm going to go to Castillo under 5.5 hits allowed. So thank you guys for tuning in. Obviously, like I said, I'm trying to limit a little bit less free plays, but on days like today, I don't want to see you guys forcing. Come over to the channel, lock in these plays, and hopefully we'll get a winner here. Hopefully they're better than the Astros yesterday. So thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you. See you tomorrow. Pass the prop, regular time.